Well, well, well. Looks like Amy Klobuchar is dropping out of the race. The headlines are in all of the major news organizations. Amy Klobuchar will end her 2020 presidential campaign and endorse Joe Biden later on this evening. Hi, I'm Eric Erb, and this is The Eric Erb Show Live. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com, also on twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show. Find me on Anchor, that's anchor.fm, anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. You can also find me on Spreaker, that's spreaker.com/The Eric Erb Show Live. And of course, my new platform called Podbean, that's podbean.com/Eric Erb Live. Now let's get into the news. The headlines are Amy Klobuchar will end 2020 presidential campaign and endorse Joe Biden. This is on all the news outlets everywhere, so bear with me no matter where you are, which side of the aisle you're on, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Excuse me, anywhere. It's all on the news channels. Amy Klobuchar will end her presidential campaign Monday and endorse Joe Biden, a campaign aide says. Klobuchar campaign confirmed that the senator is flying to Dallas to join the former vice president, that's Joe Biden, at his rally where she will suspend her campaign and give her endorsement on the eve of Super Tuesday. Well, I wonder how that's going to go on the eve of Super Tuesday. Joe Biden did very, very well. He was trailing, and they were just about counting him out. He was on life support, his campaign. All of a sudden, in South Carolina, the black vote came out for Joe Biden, and they came out big for Joe Biden down in South Carolina. So Joe Biden won 48%, 48, I think, 0.6% or something like that, to Bernie Sanders, a very, very far distant second place at 19.9%. Joe Biden did extremely well. One would say Joe Biden simply kicked some ass, which he did very well down there. There's no doubt about that. Joe Biden did extremely well in South Carolina. So this endorsement maybe of Amy Klobuchar here on the eve of Super Tuesday. Tomorrow, obviously, we have, I think it's 14 states that will be going for primary. Will be having their primaries on Super Tuesday. This should be very, very fascinating. Maybe this little shot in the arm is what Joe Biden needs to overcome some of his poor showings in New Hampshire and then, of course, the Iowa caucuses in Nevada. So Klobuchar realized her path to the nomination is all but closed after she posted sixth place in Nevada and South Carolina, a sign that the Minnesota Senators' surprising showing in New Hampshire would not be nearly enough to propel her towards the nomination. Well, at least I'll give it to Senator Klobuchar. At least she woke up and realized that there's no way in hell that she's going to make it. Maybe as a running mate, maybe as a vice president, excuse me, but there's no way in hell she's going to make it. And that's just a fact of life. She doesn't have the power there. She doesn't have the ground game. She doesn't have the troops. Bernie Sanders is probably the only one that has a consistent ground game in the long haul. But certainly Amy Klobuchar does not. I mean, that's a given. We all knew that. The high point of Klobuchar's campaign came in mid-February when she had a strong debate days before New Hampshire primary that led her to a third-place finish in the state. But the showing even caught Klobuchar's campaign off guard, and a lack of organization on the ground in Nevada and in South Carolina, with the senators' inability to win over the Latino and black voters. Ultimately, that's what stalled out her campaign. Which is true. If you can't relate to other people that are black, Hispanic, people of color, I'm going to tell you right now, you're in for a world of hurt. Joe Biden, on the other hand, is doing very, very, very good, at least with the black voters. Down in South Carolina, he is. He actually really kicked Bernie's ass all over the place. I know I hear it all the time. Bernie's going to win everything. Bernie's going to win everything. That's not realistic. That's not real. Tom Steyer has gotten out. He realized, the billionaire, he realized he can't do it. Pete Buttigieg, Mayor Pete, gay Mayor Pete, he's gone. He realized there's no way to do this. His platform is cracking, dissolved, and now gone. And Amy Klobuchar finally came to the reality that she cannot do it. She cannot do it. There is no path to the presidency for Amy Klobuchar. It's impossible. It's dead, done, gone. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. Sayonara. And all I know is with Amy Klobuchar is that probably the rest of the candidates are saying, yep, she's out, good riddance. Well, like anything else, you know how this goes. It's too bad, but life goes on. So this might be the matchup, the ultimate matchup, what the Dems are hoping for, that it would be Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, and maybe Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg has billions of dollars. He could literally buy the election if he wanted. But they're hoping one of the two guys can take out Bernie Sanders. That's the bottom line. That's what the Democratic swamp wants. That's what they want. And that's probably what they're going to get. Bernie Sanders, they're going to screw him out of the nomination once again, first in 2016 with Hillary, now this time running against, in the Democratic Party, running against his fellow Democrats because they don't want a socialist. Again, when you go into a general election, I've said this about 10 times, I'll say it again, you have to be either slightly left of center, slightly right of center. If you're extreme one way or another, voters aren't going to vote for you because most people, not the radical left and not the kooky right, either one, most voters want somebody that's just slightly one way or slightly over to the other way. They don't want an extremist in the White House. That's just a fact of life. People will be in denial. They'll call me. They'll say that I'm full of shit and full of this, full of that. But honest to God, if you look at the last 5 to 10 elections or more, that's how it's always been. They don't put radical people in the White House. That's just a fact of life. You always have to end up being moderate. You can be slightly conservative and be a moderate, slightly liberal and be a moderate, but they want a moderate in the White House. They want somebody like them. That's what the American people wants. So these disillusioned people that are these millennials think that they're going to put somebody like another AOC in the White House. Not right now. Not a chance. They think they're going to put somebody radical that can radically come in, wave a magic wand, and get everything done. Not a chance in hell. That ain't going to happen. That's why, again, Joe Biden did so well with the blacks, because he can relate, because of President Obama. He has the roots there through President Obama. Also, Joe Biden did good with the people of color in the state of South Carolina. And then he also is relatable. Bernie Sanders, I don't care what, he's relatable with young college kids. And the college kids just want to make the friggin' debt go away. So I'm just going to say that. The people want freebies. They want socialism. They'll go with Bernie Sanders. People want a little more moderate. They're going to go with Joe Biden. Bloomberg kind of falls a little bit in the middle, but mostly he has a tendency to be towards the conservative side. So let me know what you think of the podcast. Let me know what you think. This is Eric Erb from The Eric Erb Show Live. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com, twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show. And then, of course, you can find me on Spreaker, spreaker.com/Eric Erb Show Live. And then anchor.fm, that's anchor.fm/The Eric Erb Show Live. And my last and new platform. It's podbean.com/Eric Erb Live. Like, subscribe. I'd love to have your support so you can keep us online and we can keep plugging away here and I can keep recording these podcasts for you several times a week. This is Eric Erb from the Eric Erb Show Live, signing off.